What's going on, everybody? I'm Matthew here, and in today's video I want to talk to you about one of the things I think a lot of people tend to overlook. That's insurance, and we'll talk about health insurance, travel insurance, car insurance, but just insurance in general, and my main principle around insurance and if you should actually pay for it. So let's get straight to that. Should you purchase insurance when it comes to health, travel, car, etc.? Yes. This was something I know my dad ingrained in me when I was a young boy. You never skimp on insurance. Insurance is one of the most important things you can have in life. One accident can ruin your life. One trip the wrong way, one fall the wrong way can completely ruin your life if you do not have insurance. How? Go ask somebody who has like a $600,000-$700,000 medical bill because they didn't have proper insurance. So let's talk about health insurance. This is, of course, going to vary depending on where you are. But in Canada, at least in BC, we pay I think it's like $30 a month for our MSP. And it's mandatory. You have to pay for it. It's $30. But then that covers you for doctor's appointments and, if you get sick or you break your arm or whatever, you're covered. You don't have to worry about it. But then they go a step further and it's called extended health. Extended health covers like dental work, eye exams. It covers extended stays in the hospital, etc. That's optional. And I don't know for the life of me why anyone wouldn't have it. It's just a no-brainer because let me run a scenario by you. What happens if you get, you're walking, you get hit by a car, or you slip, you fall, and you break your back or something like that, and now all of a sudden you're going to find yourself confined to a hospital bed for the next month. And that hospital bed for the next month is costing you $15,000 a day. How are you going to pay for that when you don't have insurance? Right? And let's remove anybody else from this equation. You slip and fall on your own appeal. Right? There ain't nobody you can sue. This is your own damn fault. You slip and fall in your house. You break your back. Now you're confined to the hospital. And it's racking up a $15,000 a day bill. How are you going to pay for that? How are you going to pay for that? That can literally, after a month of that, you get released from the hospital. I don't know what's 15,000 times 30. A lot. Okay? A lot. Your life is over. You're now going to work to pay back your medical bills. Yeah, you could probably, maybe throw 20 to 40% of it on hardship, bankrupt yourself, destroy your credit. Who knows? Maybe. But you've ruined your life. Your life is now over. And those scenarios, I have a saying, and it's like, Emeka, never be a statistic. And I always tell myself that over and over again. Whenever I'm thinking about, okay, should we cover this or cover that? We are covered to the max. I always make sure, me and my family, we are covered as much as we can. Because I want that barrier around me. I do not want to be a statistic. I don't want to be one of those idiots on the news pleading for money from strangers for a GoFundMe because I was too stupid and I didn't get proper insurance. I just, forgive me if that's happened to you. And, obviously we don't know everyone's situation. But I always click on those stories read them because I always think, I'm like, how did this person become so stupid? How did they become so stupid that they're in this situation and now they owe like $300,000? How did they not have insurance? What were they thinking? Boggles my mind. So insurance is something, just don't play with it. Wherever you are, make sure you and your family, your loved ones are covered as possible. As covered as possible. Travel insurance is another one. Bottom line on this, if you can't afford your travel insurance, you can't afford to travel. Go get your money right. Okay? That's it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you're traveling without travel insurance, you're an idiot. You're a straight up fool. You are. these two girls, you remember a year ago, maybe longer, these two girls fresh out of high school, good to go, ready to enjoy life, okay? They're going to Thailand, best friends, best friends throughout high school, going to Thailand. Dream trip, been talking about for years. Dream trip, go to Thailand, drink it up, party with the boys, get in a taxi cab, boom. Car accident, one's dead, one's in the hospital. Neither decided to get travel insurance because maybe mommy and daddy screwed up and didn't teach them anything properly. Or the girls just ignored that advice and said, nothing happens to us. That always happens to other people. That girl's life is over now. Not the one that's dead. The one that's dead has no problems. She's dead. But the other one, her medical bills were like, remember when the story broke, it was like $300,000 or $400,000. And her parents are begging for money because they can't afford it. Ouch. Your life is over. Your family's life is over. Don't be a statistic. Always cover yourself. Always pay the extra to get the last little bit of insurance. And shop around. Always. Don't buy the insurance from the airlines or any of those. Go to a third party, and we use Manulife BCA. Go to a proper insurance broker and find out. Shop around. That's one thing I'm really good at. I'll shop around and find the best rates. The best coverage. But always make sure you're covered. How much coverage should you get? 1 million? Well, it depends on where you go. $1 million in medical expenses is like, you'll blow through that in a week in the States. Like, I always cover myself covered. So it's like something goes wrong, I'm like, good. Do not have to worry about anything. Everything's covered. Because you never know. And that's the scary thing. You just never know. I've been down here in Mexico, 2 years? I spent about $4,000 on insurance in 2 years. Nothing's happened to me. Healthy as can be. Knock on wood. Some people look at that, wow, you've wasted $4,000. I look at that, no, I've invested $4,000 in peace of mind. Because what if I didn't and something happened and now we're stuck with instead of $12,000 to pay off, now we're stuck paying $600,000 in medical expenses because I was too cheap to invest $4,000 to cover myself for insurance. You never, ever, ever want to skimp out of insurance. If you can't afford the insurance, you can't afford the activity you're doing, whether it's your house, your car, travel, whatever the case is. If you can't afford the insurance, you can't afford the activity you're doing. Now, let me give you some pointers, some things that I've learned over the years on how we pay for our insurance, right? So down here in Mexico, we have our health insurance a lot different than Canada. If you're ever wondering, hey, whose healthcare system is better, Mexico or Canada's? It's Mexico by a freaking long shot. Mexico's healthcare system, their hospitals, their doctors, the way they do things here, they have private and free. It makes Canada's healthcare system look like a freaking joke. It's pathetic. Love Mexican healthcare system. It's unbelievable here. Their hospitals are like the state of the art, not like that, 70-year-old St. Paul's in Vancouver. Like, God, an embarrassment. Anyways, whole nother story. So one of the things that we do here is we renew our insurance. In fact, February, and Mariana was reminding me that our insurance is coming up for renewal. I think it's going to be about $1,800 for the three of us. Okay, and this is our health insurance. All right. So one thing that we do is, in order to keep that $1,800, I guess that would be our premiums that you would say, $1,800. Okay, I think it's $1,800. It might be $1,800 for me. Who knows? Whatever, $1,800. And and then our deductible. I have no clue what our deductible is. I just know it's high. I think it's like $700. So what we do is we have a separate bank account that's our insurance. And this covers, whenever we're running into this type of situation, we always set it up like this. And so we have a separate bank account that's our insurance deductible. And so what's in that account is exactly whatever our insurance deductible would be. So if it's $700, we just have a $700 balance on that account. It's in a separate bank. We don't look at it, and that just stays like that. And so what happens if we ever run into a scenario where one of us needs medical attention, whatever, we don't have to stress over paying $700 deductible. We just take it from that account and boom, pay it, and it's done. So why so high though, right? We have the option of actually lowering our premiums and increasing our deductible. I think we can have a deductible of like $3,000, but then our premiums have dropped down here. So is that correct? Yeah, higher deductible, lower premiums. Yes. Okay. So instead of $1,800, say it drops down to $700, but our deductible's $3,000 now. You understand how that works, right? So if not, just hit me in the comments and I'll try to explain it better. But so as we earn more money, right, what do? We're reviewing our thing and we're like, okay, well, what's the next level they offer? Okay, $1,300. All right, well, can we do that right now? So we add in $1,300, or so it's now $1,300 in our deductible insurance account, right, in that separate bank account, and so now we can drop it. And then next year, when we earn more money, we'll go to the next level and keep going all lower, right? So then that way, right, because you want your premiums as low as possible. Your deductible, you don't care about how high it is as long as you have the money there, right? Think about it. Wealthy people have extremely high insurance deductibles because they don't want to waste their money paying premiums. It's just a bad investment. But they can afford having a higher deductible. So that's how you set yourself up. When, cars, like when I didn't have a ton of money and, I had to have a low deductible because I didn't have a lot of money. So a low deductible, I paid a lot more on cars. So I was paying I think my deductible was like $300, super low. But then when I was last in Canada, my deductible was $1,500 and my insurance premiums were nothing. Because I could afford to have a higher deductible because we had that saved. So if anything happened, boom, it was taken care of. But in that way, I got a way lower insurance rate. So you just want to take a look at those two different things, but setting ourselves up to having that separate account for our insurance deductibles in order so we can have lower premiums has changed so much on just, how we are able to prepare ourselves for any emergencies that come up. So, hey, if you have any other questions on this type of stuff, hit me up in the comments. I'm sure there's a couple points I didn't mention, but I just wanted to offer some of my thoughts because one of you kind of reached out and said, hey, what are your thoughts on insurance? So until next time, everyone, I'm Emeka. We'll speak to you all soon. Take care.